I'm Raha and I'll present the first part, which is the project summary. Firstly, for the program feature, we have a menu that shows the different car categories and rental times. In addition, we provide the cost of the car rental before and after. Next, the program display receipt and summary of sales, show the total of the car rental and the total payment. Next, for the program component, we make a program that has selection, which has if and nested if statements, repetitions, and a while statement. And for the function, we have the function called void function and the function called payment. Lastly, we have arrays for array name, array car model, and array after discounts. For the next part, which is the programming process, it has three elements: a rapid analysis to determine the rental process, the main menu, the format of the receipt, and the sales summary. First, test and do error correction. For experience outcomes, we achieve communication skills in problem solving by having effective communication. We also learn about project segregation based on our specialization so we can produce better output. Lastly, we learn how to have a good cooperation by combining all the members' contributions on this project.
Now, I'm going to share to you about the introduction of the project. As we know, the project is about D2's Cars Rental Sdn Bhd, which is a Malaysian automobile rental company that provides variety of cars that can be rented by the customer. The company recently changed from the manual to web-based car rental system. Since every reservation will be visible, they will be able to manage the customer reservation more quickly and easily. This online service, known as online car rental system, is very simple to use. Anyone who knows how to use it can reserve for a specific day through the website that include information about the price before and after the discount.
For the first goal, this project gives customers the option to select their favorite vehicles from a list of available rental vehicles. Next, establish the length of the rental and the total cost including any discounts. The final step is to figure out how many automobile renters there are, what kind of cars they are renting, and how much they will have to pay.
For analysis, we provide IPO, which include input, processing, and output. For input, we have the process of getting the name and phone number. Then we get the car seat and the car model that the renters desire. We also get the hours of the car rental, and lastly, we get the customer feedback. For process, we have the sentinel while loop for repetition on the process of the car rental. Next, we have the process of choosing the car seat, type of car, and the price of the car rental. Next, process has a function called call payment, then calculate the price before discount using the formula price before discount minus price times hours. Next, to calculate the amount discounted, use the formula amount discount minus before discount times discount. Then return the amount discount. Next, we have a function called void function, void display. And lastly, we have array for a two-dimensional array by using nested for loops to display array elements. For output, the car model for the car chosen and hours for hours rented are displayed, followed by the price for the price of rental before discount and after discount. Lastly, display count plus plus for name, car type, and total rent, as well as customer feedback.
Now, I'm going to explain to you about the pseudocode for the main function. From number 1 until number 6, which will be displayed on the output, and number 7 until number 9 is the loop for the two-dimensional array on the number 6. For the line number 10, we will be using the sentinel control while loop. The statement will be stop executing if the customer entered the capital and the small letter of n. If the customer entered other than the n, it will read the customer name, the customer number telephone, and the seater chosen. From the seater chosen, we will using the nested if selection. If the customer choose seater for 5-seater, it will be read and display the car model. If the car model is A, then it will set price at 8 ringgit and the car name is MyV. The statement will be displayed as you have choose MyV. Else if the customer choose for car model B, then it will set the price as 12 ringgit and the car name is Proton X50. And it will display the statement you have choose Proton X50. And also if the customer choose the car model C, then it will set price as 30 ringgit and the car name is BMW 530 IM Sport. And the statement will be displayed as you have choose BMW 530 IM Sport. And if the customer choose other than the car model A, B, and C, and it will start again from if customer chosen the car model A, B, or C. Then, if the customer decided to choose for 7-seater, then it will read the car model. if the customer choose for car model D, then it will set price as 22 ringgit and the car name is Proton X Zora. The statement that will be displayed is you have choose Proton X Zora, and else if the customer choose the car model E, then it will set the price as 16 ringgit and the car name is Proton X90. The statement that will be displayed is you have choose Proton X90, and else if the customer choose the car model F, the price that will be set is 40 ringgit and the car name is Mercedes-Benz GLB7. The display statement is you have choose Mercedes-Benz GLB7. If the customer choose other than car model D, E and F, it will start again for the customer to choose either D, E and F only. Else, if the customer choose other than 5 and 7 seater, then it will read the seater chosen and the customer still need to choose either they want 5 or 7 seater. And if they choose 5 seater, then they need to choose car model either A, B and C. And if they choose 7 seater, they need to choose either car model D, E or F. For number 11, it will read hours which to rent with which the customer need to enter, their amount of hour they want to rent the car. And for number 12, it will calculate price before discount using the formula before discount equals to price multiplied by hours. And for 13, they will calculate amount of discount using function call. And for number 14, it will calculate price after discount using the formula after discount equals to before discount minus by amount discount. And it will be displayed the customer's name, car's name, price after discount, price before discount, and customer's contact telephone. For number 16, which is we read the customer wants to continue or not. For number 17 until number 19, they will be displayed on the output. And for number 22, which is the customer feedback, customer can input their feedback. Number 23 until 25, it will be displayed on the output. And that's the end for pseudocode for the main function. Next, I will explain to you about the pseudocode for car payment function. First, if the hour is more or equals than 12 hours, then it will set the discount as 25%, which is 0.25. And else, if the hour is more than equal to 24 hours, then it will set the discount as 35%, which is 0.35. And else, it will set the discount as 0. And we calculate the amount of discount using the formula amount discounts equals to before discount multiplied by discount. And it will return the amount discount to the main function. Last but not least, I'm going to explain to you about the pseudocode for void function. For the first line, it will be displayed on the output. And the second line until fourth line, it will be taken from the information that been input by the customer. And for line 5 and 6, it will be taken from the calculated price before discount and price after discount from the main function and the car payment function. So that's all for the pseudocode from me.
Next, I will present about the flowchart of this car rental program. The program will start by welcoming user by display hi, welcome to D2 car rental. Then it will display two-dimensional array to show the options of car that are available and their prices. Then this program will read the name, number telephone and seater. For the seater, user need to choose between two options. We use selection program, which is the nested if. User can choose between 5-seater car or 7-seater car. And in this flowchart, we can see the connector that will connect the flowchart to the next page. If user enter the seater, the program will read the car model. If user enter 5-seater, then only car model A, B, and C can be the option for user to choose. In this part, we also use the nested if. If user enter car model A, then it will set the price as 8 ringgit and display as myV. Then if user enter B, it will set the price as 12 ringgit and display as Proton X50. And next, if the user enter C, it will set the price as 30 ringgit and display as BMW. If the user enter other than A, B, and C, it will repeat the process and the program will read back to the car model. In this part, we use while loop that allow the program to repeat until the statement is true. Next, if the user enter 7-seater car, then the program will read the car model. For this part, only car model D, E, and F will be the option for user to choose. We also use the same program as previous part, which is the nested loop. If user enter D, then the price is set as 22 ringgit and display as Proton X Zora. If user enter E, the price will set as 16 ringgit and display as Proton X90. And next, if the user enter F, it will set the price as 40 ringgit and display as Mercedes-Benz. If the user enter none of the car model B, E, and F, then it will execute to read the car model until the statement evaluate true is true. If it is true, then it will evaluate to the next part. And for the seater, if user enter other than 5 and 7-seater, then it will evaluate back to the car model and repeat the process until the statement is true. When the statement is evaluated as true in this while loop process, then the program will continue to read the hours. Then proceed to calculate the before discount price. After that, the amount of the discount is calculated in the function call of calculate payment function. This is for the statement that executes the function. After that, the process continues to calculate after discount. Then, there's a function called for void to display the name, car name, before discount, after discount, and number telephone. Then, this program proceeds to read the answer. We use the sentinel while loop process if the answer is not equal to n. If it is true, then the process is repeat all the statement back from the read name. And if it is false, then the program will display the receipt. We use the for loop in this part. The initial statement is j equal to 0. The loop condition is j less than count, and the update statement is j++. Then, it displays the j plus 1, array name, array car name, and array after discount for the receipt. It will execute the statement until it is false, then feedback is displayed for user to enter their feedback. After the program, it will display thank you and share more information about our D2 car rental, and the process will stop. So, for our calculate payment function, this is to calculate the discount. It will start with the function definition. Then, we use nested if, which if user enter hours more than 12 hours, then discount is set as 25%. And if user enter hours more than 24 hours, then discount is set as 35%. If none of the statement is true, then no discount is given. When the user gets the discount, it will continue to calculate the amount of discount and end of the process by return to amount discount. And lastly is the void function. The process is started by the function definition of void display. Then it will display the name, car name, before discount, after discount, and number telephone. Then end of the function.
Assalamualaikum and hi. Okay, now let us move on to the D2 car rental source code program. On the top of this coding, we have used the IO stream, IO manip, and string header. Besides, we could also see that the function prototype that we use, which are the void function and return value function, so that it can utilize the predefined function to enhance its functionality. For example, the function that we use such as display and calc payment. After that, we can see array statement for constant integer rows and column which is equal to 3. Now let's proceed to the integer main part. First, we can see all the declaration that we use such as string, integer, char, and float. After that, if we execute the program, it will display, "Hi, welcome to D2 car rental Sdn Bhd," followed by the car option that we have offered, which are 5 and 7-seater. We have used two-dimensional array name table that have 3 columns and 3 rows, including the gap of the table that we have used nested for loop to display the array elements. The integer I will access the rows while the integer j will access the column. On the other hand, we have used sentinel while loop. For the program stated, do you want to continue? Yes or no? If yes, the program will interact the user to fulfill the customer name, contact number, and choice of seater. If the user input 5, it will execute choose car model, A or B or C. For this part of coding, we have used nested if for multiple selection. The nested if will hold the C out, the type of car, where the user select price and car name. But if the user input besides A or B or C, the program will execute invalid car model. Please enter A or B or C and the question will be repeated. Same goes when the user input 7-seater, it will display choose car model D or E or F. And if the user input wrongly, it will execute invalid seater. Please enter D or E or F. While for this part is for the user that input besides 5 or 7-seater. It will execute invalid seater. Please enter 5 or 7-seater. Which means it repeats the same question. We use the same concept, which are sentinel while loop and nested if. Followed by this part is the exact same way for 7-seater and selection D or E or F. On the next part, customer need to input the rental duration by hours. The calculation involved are price multiplied by hours and declare the variable as before discount. On this part are the function called for return value function and void function. We also have put the count for array name, array car name, and array after discount, and insert count plus plus. So, as earlier we have used sentinel answer n. It is for this part of question. Where the program will execute, do you want to continue, yes or no? If the user input n, the program will end, followed by the receipt. For the receipt part, we have used array to display the number of customer, name of customer, type of car, and the price after discount in a line. Besides, customer need to insert their feedback, then the program stop by the advertisement at the end. Lastly, on the top we can see the return value function for car payment. For the formal parameter, there are before discount and hours. If the user input 12 until 23 hours, the user will get 25% discount. If the user input 24 hours and above, the user will get 35% discount. Else, the user will not get any discount. The concept that we have used is nested if selection.
while the calculation involved for variable amount discount are before discount multiplied with discount, and the return amount discount will be replaced the function call statement. At the bottom, we can see void function for display. This is made for the invoice that have been fulfilled by the customer. Okay, now let us jump to the program output. This is the first example. Firstly, it will display the "Hi, welcome to D2 car rental Sdn Bhd," followed by the options of seater and the list of the car. Then user need to fill their name, number telephone and car seater. As you can see, the options for car seater are only 5 and 7. But if you insert besides 5 or 7, for example 2, it will display invalid seater. Please enter 5 or 7. Then if you insert correctly, for example 5, another question will be generated, which is choose car model A or B or C. If user input wrongly, it will display invalid car model. Please enter A or B or C. Then it will inform the car model that we have selected such as A. You have choose my V. Next, user need to input numbers of hours they wish to rent. An invoice will be executed. It will display the agreement, total before discount and total after discount. The following question will ask, do you want to continue? If user insert end, the program will end. And receipt will be given. Customer will give the feedback and it is the last step.
For repetition, the while looping is applied when the user enters Y to continue renting cars. As the user has chosen 7 seaters, the program uses selection if and else if, which display the Proton Exora, Proton X90 and Mercedes-Benz GLB 7 as the selection displays. Then, after the user chooses the car they desire, the calculation of the price before discount and the price after discount is based on the price per hour of the car the user has chosen to rent. Next, the user is given the choices to continue, and if they want to continue, they enter their personal details and choose the desired car to rent, which has a 5-seater. The cars available are displayed. After that, the user needs to enter the hour for their rental hours. Then, the calculation of the price for the car rental is done and presented. For repetition, the while looping is applied when the user enters Y to continue. Lastly, the user inputs N for an answer as it wants to stop the looping, which it does by using Sentinel while looping. After that, the receipt is displayed, which has all the renters' names, the car they want to rent, and lastly, the total payment. Payment was made for the car rental along with the customer feedback.